The Restored Church of God presents David C. Pack.
What is wrong with the weather? People the world over are recognizing that extreme weather is becoming normal. Today's storms are more intense and more frequent and more widespread. Nature is exploding with violent weather. Droughts, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, storms, and wildfires, all of which are causing increasing death tolls and financial loss. Disastrous weather worldwide has caused many to ask, what is happening? Why so much bad weather? What, if anything, is behind these events? Are they acts of God, cycles of nature, or mistakes of man? What does the Bible say? This two-part series reveals shocking answers. The last 20 years have produced many more severe weather events than any other period since record-keeping began in 1880. Seemingly every week, reports around the world announce the hottest summer ever, or the worst flood ever, or the worst fires ever. Experts blame climate change or global warming. But more and more are unsure of the causes behind this increase in catastrophic weather events. 2011 saw a devastating earthquake and tsunami strike Japan, along with many other natural disasters around the world. Consider just the summer and fall in the United States. An unprecedented 5.8 earthquake near Washington, D.C., a swarm of 800 tornadoes across the Midwest that killed hundreds, an historic drought in Texas, wildfires across Arizona and New Mexico, but also Texas, the enormous Mississippi River flood, and another on the Missouri River, with others on California rivers, a giant October snowstorm in the Northeast. The list is nearly endless. While weather disasters have always occurred, try to remember when so many have happened in such rapid succession. One source declares, unprecedented extreme weather and climate events look likely in coming decades as a result of a changing climate. The IPCC reports projection for the next century. Worse heat waves worldwide are very likely. Medium confidence exists that droughts will worsen across southern North America, the Mediterranean, and elsewhere. And high confidence exists that economic losses from weather disasters are increasing. In 2011, there have been $14 billion U.S. weather disasters, shattering the previous record of 9 set in 2008. Normally, the U.S. sees 3 to 4 of these events per year. Tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods in these 14 disasters killed more than 600 people. Meteorologists have noticed something strange is occurring. No question about it, this has been a wild weather year so far in the United States, with record rains, droughts, wildfires, and tornadoes. Another report said this is the first time an earthquake and a hurricane, Irene, in the same week has forced East Coast residents to evacuate buildings. Across America, abnormally devastating weather, deadlier storms, multi-state flooding, excessive drought, and harder to control wildfires are wreaking havoc on the economy and lives of millions of people. Those who survive must pick up the pieces of shattered lives. Homes destroyed or ruined, businesses destroyed, livelihoods gone, loved ones dying, with some never found. In an instant, people can lose everything, including their lives. But the damage is far more than just death and destruction of property. Entire economies can be affected. Cities can be erased. In other parts of the world, unstable weather comes from the Pacific pattern called El Niño, which brings wet weather that saturates the ground and results in flooding in some places and droughts in others. Consider, a strong El Niño plays havoc with weather from Indonesia to the Atlantic, but in different ways. Indonesia gets unusually dry weather, and fires in parts of Indonesia have been frequent. Peru, on the west coast of South America, tends to get what California gets, flooding rains. And this about ecological changes. Climate change and other factors are causing a massive migration of tree species across much of the western United States and Canada, according to researchers. While insect attack, disease, and fire are contributing to the new arboreal landscape, climate change is causing species that have been established for centuries or millennia to lose their competitive edge, according to the lead author of the study. The study suggests that many species once able to survive and thrive are being muscled out by opportunistic newcomers. The co-author says that while ecosystems are always changing at very slow rates, the distribution of tree species is now being altered so quickly due to recent climate change that humans can notice it. Why such violent weather? Although natural disasters have caused erratic weather patterns throughout history, the exact reason these occur still puzzles scientists. Storm chasers do not know why some thunderstorms form tornadoes while others do not. Forecasters cannot predict where flash flooding will occur. Only the disaster after it happens tells them. Nor can meteorologists explain why one day will be cloudier than another. The dimension that experts are missing will be covered in part 2. Most want to know what is coming, what the future holds. They look to meteorologists for forecasts, seismologists for when the next big earthquake might occur, and economists to predict financial storms that could hit them. People want to know where their lives are headed, and look to psychics, seers, and prophets who have no answers. Some look to Bible prophecy to attach meaning to events, but fare no better. Here's why. Most mangle verses about prophecy, inserting their own ideas rather than believing what the Bible actually says. Due to the errors of so-called prophecy experts, the future remains hazy to most, as does the meaning behind worsening natural disasters. Yet, by allowing the Bible to interpret itself, you can understand what is happening. Before looking at God's Word, let's examine the many weather problems plaguing the world today. First, we look at hurricanes. In recent years, these storms have become more forceful and more frequent. Most Atlantic hurricanes begin as thunderstorms off the west coast of Africa and travel over warm tropical water, gaining strength as easterly trade winds send them towards Central and North America. Hurricanes build through 3 phases. 1, tropical depression, winds from 23 to 38 miles per hour. 2, tropical storm, wind speed 39 to 73 miles per hour. And 3, hurricane, above 73 miles per hour. These steps can take days or only a few hours. The worst hurricanes can have winds above 155 miles per hour. From categories 1 to 5, these can cause heavy rain damage, inland flooding, storm surging, tornadoes, and sustained high winds. At a hurricane's landfall, up to 12 inches of rain is common, often far inland. This causes severe flooding and property damage, as well as death and destruction. Storm surges are among the most devastating effects of a hurricane. This is a wall of water pushed at the front of the storm. 9 of 10 hurricane-related deaths are caused by water surge or flooding. In 1992, Hurricane Andrew killed 26 people and caused almost $27 billion in damage. In November 1998, Hurricane Mitch was one of the strongest late-season hurricanes ever. Weakening just before hitting the mainland, it still unleashed an estimated 75 inches of rain. The flooding devastated Honduras and surrounding countries. The death toll was estimated at 11,000, the single greatest loss of life in the Western Hemisphere in the last